Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Techie Sugan. In this video, we are going to see about problem solving on pattern. If the given value is 5, you can notice that the data has been printed in 5 rows and 5 columns. This is the first thing we are supposed to look at it, and next. Now let us understand this particular program further. If a given value is 5, as we see that the data has been starting from 1 to 25 has been printed, you can notice that how the data has been printed. It has printed in a square pattern. First top row has been printed, then your rightmost column has been printed, then bottom row has been printed, then leftmost column has been printed, and this operation continues till the mid of your pattern. Clear? Now let us understand how to draw this pattern. First, let us accept value from the user. So num assign int input enter number, so that I can accept input value from user. After accepting input value, now what is the next thing we are supposed to consider? If n value is 5, how many rows and columns are there in this particular pattern? 5 rows and 5 columns starting from 0 to 4. Now let us declare a matrix. So let me declare list as my matrix name, and let me initialize. Initial value of matrix is 0 for I in range of num. First I am allocating rows. How many rows are there? 5 rows are there. If n value is 5, 5 rows are there. Now let me go for column for j in range of num. The reason I am giving num here is I am having 5 rows and 5 columns. So let me allocate the given number as the range of your rows and columns. Now let me display your empty matrix first, then you can go ahead further. For displaying, let me give for I in range. What is the size? Size could be num. For j in range of num. Now let me print. As we know that our matrix name is list, and your row is mentioned by using I, and your column is mentioned by using j, and for each and every print I want spaces for the entire row, and after printing entire row I want break. So right now here let me give tab space for clear alignment, and after this, after printing each and every row I want line break. So let me give print here. Clear? Now let me execute this program, a simple program, nothing I did here. Just I am going to initialize a number and I am going to execute it. Let me give 5. You can notice that a 5 rows and 5 column matrix has been created. Now what we are going to do is we are going to proceed further how to arrange this particular data. As we know that the data printing of data has been starting from the value 1. Let me initialize a variable name called n assign 1. And as we know that the index position of starting value is 0, let me give my minimum value as 0 and my maximum value. What's my maximum value? You can notice that my maximum value of my rows and column is 4. This 4 has been taken from the given number. So let me use num minus 1. Clear? Now you are supposed to identify how many iterations is required to complete this particular printing of this particular pattern. You can notice that to print my outer square 1 iteration, and inner square 2nd iteration, and innermost value 3 iteration. So if your n value is 5, how many iterations is taken place? If your n value is 5, 3 iterations is taken place. How this can be found? It's nothing but let me declare one variable called count, and let me calculate this. This 3 can be formed by using 5 plus 1 by 2, which is nothing but adding 1 to the given number and dividing by 2 gives number of iteration. This works for any number, not only for 5. This particular logic is a common logic for any given number. So I am going to perform division operation. So let me give num plus 1 divided by 2. Clear? And right now I got my count value. This count value is specifically for my number of iteration to complete pattern printing. Clear? Now let us understand this particular program further. I have given a diagram here for a clear understanding. If you want to access this particular position value, I am going to access only by using its rows and columns value. So that's the reason I have given a detailed explanation diagram here. Now let us go ahead further. First, as we find that the number of iterations to complete this particular pattern is 3 iterations. If a given value is 5, 3 iterations is required. So let me write outer for loop for I in range, and this is for my iteration. How many iterations required to complete this particular pattern printing? So I have given my range value as count. Now you can notice we are printing our top row separately, right column separately, bottom row separately, and left column separately. Clear? For printing each and every rows and column, I need separate iterator here. And if you want to access each and every value, we are going to access by using its index position. Now let us go ahead with the program. First, let us write logic to print this particular top row. So let me give top here and let me start for j in range. And what is the starting and index range of this particular top row? You can notice that the starting range is 0. So 0 in the sense it is mentioned by using the value called min. And what is the ending value? Ending value is 4. 4 in the sense 4 has been mentioned by using the variable name called max, 5 minus 1. So I can give max plus 1 as my range. Since as we know that if you are giving range value as 5, it will iterate only till 4. Clear? Now let us go ahead with initialization of value list of n, which is nothing but I am going to initialize my first value with n. N is nothing but 1, and for each and every iteration I am going to increment it. Now I am supposed to consider with my row and column value. What's your row value? 0, 0, 0. It's for a 0 for your complete row. So I can mention my row value as I, and my column value is keep on incrementing for each and every iteration. It is nothing but your j value. Clear? Now I have completed for my top row. Now let us go ahead with your right column. For right column, let me write one more for loop for j in range. And what is the starting range of this particular thing? You can notice that the starting range is 1. 1 in the sense your minimum value is 0. I can make use of this min plus 1 is your starting value. And what's the ending value? Your ending value is 4. 4 is mentioned by using your max plus 1. Max is 4. So 4 plus 1 gives you 5. So I have given my starting and ending value. Now let us go ahead further and initialize value here with n, and for each and every iteration I am incrementing. And now let us understand what is your row value 1, 2, 3, 4, which is nothing but keep on incrementing for each and every iteration, which is nothing but your j value is your row value. And what's your column value? Your column value remains 4. Your column value remains 4 in the sense I can make use of this max as your column value. Your max value is 4. Clear? Now I mentioned my row and column value. Now let us go ahead further and write condition for printing your bottommost part. For j in range, what's your starting range of this particular bottom? 3. 3 can be mentioned by using max minus 1. Your max is 4. So 4 minus 1 is 3. And what's your ending value? Ending value is 0. 0 in the sense min. If you are giving min, it will execute only till 1. So I am supposed to give min minus 1. And by default your range value is increment. Here what I am supposed to mention? First 3, next 2, next 1, next 0th column. So I am supposed to decrement for each and every iteration. So let me mention minus 1 as my step value. Clear? Now let us go ahead with initialization list of n, and for every iteration I am incrementing it. Now let us go ahead with your row and column initialization. You can notice that your row value is 4 for entire bottom condition. So let me give 4 in the sense max as your row value, and 3, 2, 1, 0 is your column value, which is nothing but your j value is your column value. Clear? I have given my bottom condition also. Now I am supposed to write condition for my leftmost part. For leftmost part, I am going to write condition for j in range. What's the starting value here? 3. 3 can be mentioned by max minus 1. And what's the ending value? 1. 1 in the sense min, it will go to 1. And for each and every iteration, I am going to decrement it. Clear? And the same way, I am going to initialize my value to my matrix. Now let us go ahead with the initialization part. As we know that your row is keep on decrementing 3, 2, 1. Your row value is j and your column value remains 0. So it is your I value. Clear? Now as we know that for each and every complete iteration, your min value should be incremented and your max value should be decremented. So what I am supposed to do is, I am supposed to increment my min value and decrement my max value after complete one iteration. Clear? Now let us execute this program. If I give value 5, you can notice that your square pattern is printing perfectly. Clear? This program works for any given number, not only for 5. If you are giving 7, you can notice that your square pattern is displayed till 49. Clear? I hope so you are clear with this particular program. If at all you like this video, please subscribe to my channel and click the bell icon. Thank you.